What's going on, family? New day, new beginnings. Before we get started, hit that like and share button, subscribe button. There's something that's heavy on my mind right now. I always ask myself, right, and y'all probably can help me out. Do we learn from our faults? Um, and what I mean by that is basically we have this excuse that this saying that mistakes happen. I don't really believe that mistakes just happen. I feel like we put ourselves in position for mistakes to occur, knowing us as human beings, knowing it's wrong. You understand? And what I mean by that, is it a lack of understanding? Is it a lack of listening? Is it a lack of not being coached or mentored appropriately? Or is it just us as individuals? Because me myself, I made mistakes, not occasionally, a lot, and I sit down and ask myself, you know, was was this the appropriate time for me to make that mistake? Because we know things are spiritual, if you believe in those sort of things. And the way I view things is that we could sit here on one hand and blame people for our mistakes, or we could just hold ourselves accountable. That's the way I view things. I used to be a blamer, but then as soon as I started maturing, I just put the blame on myself and I learned from it. I think all of us have seen experiences, learning from our parents, our siblings, our friends, family members. And do we really heed their advice? Do we really look at the mistakes that they made? Because I could tell you point blank right now, a lot of things that the older guys, uncles, older cousins, older brothers, my father told me when I was younger, I experienced it. I experienced a lot of them. My mother told me a lot of things, and I experienced them. Not now, because I try not to put myself in those positions, but I know the things that were told to me. I did make those mistakes, and like I said, we were told about the pitfalls, about the mistakes not to make, but we still went ahead and did them anyway. Yes, experience can make us a better person, but I feel that being older now, I'm talking from an older person perspective, not an older person, but a more mature perspective, that the things that were taught to us and told us, we really need to look at it, even if it's in a positive or negative light. Because like I said, in my life, I learned from people who are positive and negative. Shit, I learned more from the negative people than the positive people. Because the negative people made so many mistakes. I'm like, damn, dude, like, or young lady, shit. We put ourselves in these positions and we sometimes don't really heed that spiritual warning until it's too late, just like someone keep tricking off their money. Eventually, you're not going to have none left. You understand? Eventually, a woman could be sleeping with a whole bunch of men, and soon she's gonna have an empty soul because she's not gonna feel right, and vice versa. And I think that sometimes we need to take a step back and just listen to what an older person or a more mature person who've been through these things could show us, could tell us. I feel that there's certain circumstances where you need that advice, and then there's other circumstances where you don't need the advice. But everybody that came into my life, that I came in contact with, they always had like a message. I probably didn't heed that message then and there, but when I think back to the talk I had with that person, I see what they were saying now. And this is coming from an individual who's 42 now. I'm not 22 anymore. I'm 42. That's what I tell my kids all the time. Even down to the little one, hey, you gotta look at things differently. You understand? Because when I was younger, my parents didn't know a lot of things financially, probably spiritually, and physically that I do know now. And that's why I try to let my kids know, hey, you do these things now, you're not going to have the issues I had coming up. They may listen, they may not. It is what it is. But I feel that us as individuals need to just take that time out and reflect on what was said to us, and try to not make it right, but try to spread that in a positive way to the new kids, young adults coming up. Because you understand, we in a day and age where these kids don't really have guidance, And look, truth be told, some of them get got it and they just don't want to fucking listen. But I feel that you gotta, pinpoint the ones who want to learn, who want that game, and give it to them. The ones that don't, they will learn on their own. Just like I learned on my own when I didn't want to listen, you know. But that was just on my mind. I just wanted to get that out, get that into, the universe, and let people know how I feel. You know, if you're going through that also, if you're going through a change, a different season for you, let it be known. You understand? Speak to yourself. Look at what you did wrong. But like I said, don't blame people for your faults. Don't use that fucking excuse. Mistakes happen, because that's a loser mentality. Mistakes don't happen. We put ourselves in that position for them to occur. All right. Thank you. Before I go, hit that like and share button. Love you all.